Hello, BookTube. I've got some mail for you on a warm, humid Friday. those few days that Boston had of crisp, absolutely dry, gorgeous weather. Those are now gone. Humidity has built back in. Heat is building back in, and I think some raucous weather is on the way. Rain at least, but maybe thunderstorms. There's even the chance of hail. We shall see. Frida has never experienced hail, so that would be interesting to see. But we have a couple of periodicals. And a couple of packages. The periodicals are old standbys of mine. One is The New Republic, and the other is The Nation. And both of them are about the impending repeal of Roe v. Wade. That is going to be the disastrous decision that launched 1,000 think pieces. But there's also a piece, I haven't read either one of them yet, but there's a piece in The New Republic on Donald Trump's MAGA cult. The depths of it that have nothing to do with politics, they have nothing to do with running the country or anything like that. It's just a religious cult merged with QAnon. Those are always depressing to read, but I'll read them anyway. And then you've got a whole section of books, a whole section on book reviews, and there's bound to be something in here that will appeal to me. The thumbnail descriptions of them don't sound it. Werner Herzog wrote a book, for instance. Why you would give space to writing about that, I do not know. A couple of books on politics. Jennifer Wilson reviews the new Jennifer Egan. But you never know. I will turn to the back of the book first and read that, then I'll read all the rest of it. And The Nation's the same way. The Nation has a think piece, lots of think pieces on Roe v. Wade. One of the two of them has a roundup article of worst case scenario things. I think it's The New Republic. Those articles are always fascinating. You get some sort of pseudo swayed intellectual to come in and do it. And on the back of The Nation every single month is this. An ad for a simplified computer. I'm always curious to try one of these things and see what it is. They're very pandering. The Nation assumes that its readership is octogenarian at the very youngest. And this is basically a computer for senior citizens. Under the condescending and galling assumption that they couldn't figure out a computer on their own, which is not true. Which is... But there was, again, there's the back of the book section for this, but the thing that I'm going to go to first here is this. A reviewer named Hannah Gold reviewing that Library of America volume of Rachel Carson that we've seen on this channel and that I loved. Of course, I spent a lot of time rereading it, and this looks like it'll be a lot of fun. Nice, big, ruminative piece that goes on for, 1,000 words, 2,000 words. So there's book coverage in here in these political commentary magazines, even if... the political commentary is going to be as depressing as could be. But then we've got some mail as well. One of these packages, I think, may be another tech extravaganza. but let's I'll save the dodgy one for last, and we'll just do the book packages first. Okay, all right. Okay, this is from Akashic Books. We've seen them before. What have we got? What is all this paperwork? What is all this paperwork that I do not need? Okay, this is a book by Jerry Stahl, who wrote Permanent Midnight, which is a great drug book. It's a great book about being a drug addict, about his time writing for the children's sitcom Alf, while also being an out-of-control drug addict. This comes out in early July. That's a little bit early for me to be getting a hardcover. This is 999, One Man's Tale of Depression, Psychic Torment, and a Bus Tour of the Holocaust. Jerry Stahl is a fantastic writer, so I didn't know this was coming. I'm glad to see it. In this book, he plumbs the depths of his depression and fracturing mental health in this darkly funny account of the 2016 guided bus tour he took through concentration camps across Poland and Germany. Much of what he encounters in sites of mass murder turned tourism stops is shocking, or was, he notes in his introduction, back in the happy naivety autumn of 2016 when shocking was not as overused as unprecedented. Okay, well, Kirkus Reviews liked it, Publishers Weekly liked it. It's been coming out for a while, despite being... I don't need to get to this at all, because it's not until July the 5th. That's a long way away. So even though it's a finished copy, I don't have to get to it. It will just go on the July shelf. It was a lot of fun to go through the forthcoming bookshelves with David Murphy, who is here visiting, and he's not showing up on camera. We're not doing videos, but we went through my impending bookshelf, just pulled everything out, talked about it. That was a lot of fun. It's always fun to do that with another book person. Then we've got one of these flat envelopes, these vacuum pressed things from W.W. Norton, who I typically love. Oh no, it's a slim volume of poetry. All right, this is the finished copy of something we've already seen. This is the finished copy of David Baker's collection, Whale Fall. There you go. That is a very simple demonstration of how you do this right in terms of cover design. Just doesn't take much. It doesn't have to be ugly just because it's American. It can be very attractive. And the pub sheet just has breathless blurbs, and nobody ever knows how to blurb. Nobody ever knows how to talk about poetry. It was one thing to read it and see if it's any good, but no one knows how to talk about what it's about. This comes out also in July. This is a July finished copy when we aren't even in June yet. This comes out at the end of July. So I don't have anything to tell you about this, except maybe the dust jacket. But the dust jacket will be all of that ridiculous boilerplate about how these search the human soul and whatnot. Maybe instead we could look at a poem. Can we find something that's small enough to read in a video? Not that I care about how long my videos are. Boy, though, I've had a guest, so I haven't been bombarding you with videos. Very sorry about that. Let's do one called Gravel, which is set up this way. I guarantee you, I don't know anything about the poem, never seen it before in my life, but I guarantee you there is no reason for it to be set up that way. Weed rack and wild grape hanging from the dusty trees that touch above the narrow road. Period. So that's a sentence. It's not a sentence. It just doesn't have a verb. I'm driving my way back, rough passage over gravel, back the slow miles over the creek, the lapsed meadow. Oh, that's good. The lapsed meadow. We walked for arrow points until the road narrows to path. I park the car. I pick my step past rusty barbed wire through a clearing to the house. Back the house. Back the years. Back with him, now with me over broken floorboards, stone footers, the pot stove, a whippoorwill, years distant through the painless frames. That's really good too. Painless frames. That's really good. Half a staircase leading up over the century of beams. Back now again the old road, disappearing through white woods where he lay down and breathed no more. Okay, well, I kind of like that. I was right. There isn't any reason for it to be laid out the way it is, and the author is very, very consciously making a choice here to leave out almost all the predicates. So, just hard images, hard impressions. It works, though, I have to say. Okay, well, this doesn't come out until late July, so even though it works, I don't have to deal with it. So those are the two books. A slim volume of poetry, and 999, The Travel Tour from Hell. And both of them are July releases. But then there's the last package. And this is, unless I'm very much mistaken, this is a piece of tech. We might as well fess up to that. Sometimes I like to buy tech. And in my own defense, some of the tech that I am buying these days has a reason behind it. Not that I have plenty of tech. I don't need to buy more. But there is a reason, which is that I have largely come to terms with my love of e-reading. I am grappling now not so much with that love. I've had that moment, that road to Damascus moment, where I suddenly realized, oh, this is reading, and I really like it. And that moment happened a long time ago, so that moment is familiar to me. Now I'm getting the fallout moment. The fallout from that moment is, well, if that's true, then wither your book collection. Well, if that's true, then what is the rationale anymore for 4,000 printed books, for bookshelves lining every wall? What is the rationale for that? If you love e-reading and do a huge amount of it, do you maybe not need this many? And I haven't come to terms, obviously, with that. I don't know what the end result of all that is, but it has made me sort of make peace with e-reading, and that has made me want to hunt around for the perfect e-reading device. I spent the most of the time that I was converting to e-reading, reading on my iPhone or on my iPad. But there are devices that are dedicated to that, and some of them have advantages. So I ordered a Nook Simple Touch. This thing, a Nook Simple Touch, this is an old Barnes & Noble device from 10 years ago. It's their answer to Amazon's Kindle. And I have another one. I have one of these that is completely full. It seemed to have very little in the way of memory. And it was also very used. It was a very old device, so it was, I don't know how to put this any delicate. It was sticky. It's rubberized coating all around, back and front, and it was sticky. There wasn't anything I could do about it. I washed it. I scrubbed it. I scrubbed it with an abrasive pad. It didn't do any good. It's soaked into the plastic, whatever it is. So it's a perfectly functional device. But I wanted to get one, from the vast secondhand market on eBay that maybe wouldn't be sticky, and also that maybe would be a fresh start for the memory, for me to see what's going on. And this this is what I found. This was $10. So I grabbed it. The Barnes & Noble Nook has the power cord on the bottom there. I didn't have to worry. I got a unit without a power cord and without a power brick because I already have them. I knew that, so I didn't need it. It's one of the nice things about having a profusion of tech in its own cabinet is that you've got wires and charging bricks for virtually everything. This has the power button on the back. No idea what probably this was a corporate device or a school device and was just de-accessed. I'll just peel that off. That thing right there, that panel right there, is the power button for this. But there's really the Nook Simple Touch has an eternal life on a battery. So once you charge it to full, you're not going to be using that very often. And one thing else I noticed is that this has a little slot on the side here for an SD card, or maybe a micro SD card. Yeah, it's a micro SD card. So I'm going to have to hunt around for a micro SD card, because if memory limits and stickiness or the problem for the other Nook Simple Touch that I have, this one doesn't have the stickiness. It's a brand new device, and I can expand its memory. If I remember correctly, this can take up to 32 gigs on a micro SD card, which I think this has 8 gigs of onboard storage, and that gets eaten up quickly with side-loaded material. You can fit thousands of books on this device if you're downloading them straight from Barnes & Noble. But if you're side-loading, I think it takes up, you tech people would know better than I am, I think side-loaded material takes up more space and eats up the space on a device like this. My other Nook Simple Touch, I put, I don't even know, 100 books on it, maybe less than that, and then it immediately started telling me, manage your disk space, there is no more room on this device, so I couldn't sideload anything else. We'll see what this does. So there you go. That is, I think, the last of the tech arrivals. We had a Chromebook, a red Chromebook. We had a Nook Color, another 12-year-old Barnes & Noble device. Barnes & Noble's in the news with the Nook. They just announced a new Nook, their first one in a long time, with a very bargain price and lots of good specs. I may just buy it without looking around for the secondhand market. I may just get one. I'm not even sure if I could somehow manage my employee discount on that thing on the Barnes & Noble website. The last time I tried that, it needed an act of Congress written in blood. It was just the most complex process imaginable. But it might be possible to do. Certainly there are probably Barnes & Noble help forums out there that will walk me through the process. And then I could get one of their new Nooks with a discount and just not worry about the secondhand market. But anyway, that is the mail for today. We have a slim volume of poetry. We have 2 pieces of nonfiction, 2 magazines, and my latest e-reader, my latest little e-reader, dedicated e-ink e-reader. This is not an LCD screen. This does not contact the internet, doesn't do your email, doesn't do anything like that. It only reads books. And unlike the Amazon Kindles, it has page turn buttons. The Simple Touch really is, form factor wise, an almost brainless piece of simplicity. It only does one thing, and it does it completely intuitively. The rounded edges there sit perfectly in the cup of your hand. Your thumb is perfectly placed on the page turn buttons, and the battery life is eternal. This is more so than any of the other e-reading devices. This is about as close as you get to a paperback book. The only thing I think that's different about this is I'm pretty sure the Simple Touch does not have any kind of a light. I'll have to check and see, but I think you need a light source to read with this thing, which is healthy anyway. We'll see. Anyway, I have some exploring to do on it, which is always fun. So that's it. That is the mail for today. If I can, I will get David Murphy on camera at some point tonight or tomorrow. We're having a ball. We're talking like crazy, but the videos just don't seem to happen. Well, I'll see if I can fix that. But in the meantime, I'll wrap this up for now, but I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.